In a world often characterized by its fast-paced nature and digital interactions, it is easy to overlook the significance of basic human courtesy. We are constantly bombarded with information, rushing from one task to the next and interacting with people from all walks of life. In this whirlwind of activity, the importance of good manners, once considered the cornerstone of a civilized society, has sadly faded into the background. Yet, deep down, we all yearn for it. We long for respectful communication, for consideration in our interactions, for a sense of common decency that seems to be slipping away. This innate desire for respect and consideration is a testament to the enduring power of etiquette. It is a reminder that even in our modern world, good manners still matter.
There was a time when the teaching of etiquette was paramount, woven into the fabric of society, instilled in homes and emphasized in schools. Children were taught the importance of saying please and thank you, of respecting their elders, and of conducting themselves with decorum in social settings. These lessons were not merely about conformity, but about fostering empathy, consideration, and respect for others. They built a foundation for strong communities where individuals felt valued and understood. However, over time, this emphasis on etiquette has waned, leaving a void in our interactions and a sense of something lost.
Etiquette. The very word might conjure up images of stuffy dining rooms, formal attire, and a seemingly endless list of rules and regulations. However, true etiquette is far more profound than simply knowing which fork to use or how to address a dignitary. It is the invisible thread that binds us together as a society, a delicate dance of respect, consideration, and empathy. At its core, etiquette is about recognizing the inherent worth and dignity of every individual, regardless of their background, beliefs, or social standing. It is about fostering an environment where everyone feels respected, valued, and heard. This means being mindful of our words and actions, always striving to create a positive and harmonious atmosphere in our interactions. Etiquette is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It adapts and evolves to suit the specific context of our interactions. Just as we wouldn't wear a ball gown to a business meeting, the rules of etiquette shift depending on the setting, the relationship between individuals, and the cultural norms at play. Navigating the diverse landscape of human interaction requires a nuanced understanding of these different forms of etiquette. In the professional realm, for instance, workplace etiquette dictates appropriate attire, communication styles, and respect for colleagues and superiors. Punctuality, professionalism, and a commitment to clear and respectful communication are paramount in this arena. In the digital age, where communication transcends physical boundaries, the need for digital etiquette has become increasingly crucial. This encompasses everything from practicing online safety and respecting privacy to engaging in constructive and respectful dialogue on social media platforms. Within the sacred bonds of family, family etiquette emphasizes respect for elders, open communication, and a shared responsibility for maintaining a harmonious home environment. From table manners and household chores to resolving conflicts constructively, family etiquette provides a framework for nurturing strong and loving relationships within the family unit.
Social etiquette encompasses the broad spectrum of interactions we encounter in our daily lives, from casual encounters with neighbors to formal social gatherings. It is the art of navigating social situations with grace, making others feel comfortable, and leaving a positive impression. Simple gestures like saying please and thank you, offering compliments sincerely, and engaging in active listening can go a long way in fostering positive social connections. Good table manners, such as using utensils properly, chewing with our mouths closed, and refraining from interrupting others, demonstrate respect for our dining companions and enhance the enjoyment of the meal. In social settings, it is also important to be mindful of our appearance. While fashion choices are subjective, it is generally considered courteous to dress appropriately for the occasion, whether it's a casual gathering or a formal event. Good hygiene, such as showering regularly and wearing clean clothes, demonstrates respect for ourselves and those around us. Above all, Social etiquette is about being present and engaged in our interactions.
The concept of etiquette is not a modern invention. It has been an integral part of human civilization since time immemorial. From the ancient courts of emperors to the bustling marketplaces of old, societies have recognized the importance of established customs and codes of conduct to maintain order, foster harmony, and facilitate meaningful interactions. In ancient China, for instance, Confucianism placed great emphasis on the principles of which encompassed rituals, etiquette, and social norms. These principles governed every aspect of life, from family relations and ancestor worship to courtly manners and diplomatic protocols. Adhering to was seen as essential for maintaining social harmony and cultivating a virtuous character. Similarly, in ancient Greece, the concept of encompassed not only education, but also the cultivation of good character, manners, and social graces. Young men from aristocratic families received instruction in rhetoric, philosophy, and the arts, but they were also expected to master the art of conversation, table manners, and proper conduct in public. Throughout history, etiquette has served as a social glue, binding people together through shared understandings of appropriate behavior. While the specific rules and customs have varied across cultures and time periods, the underlying principles of respect, consideration, and empathy have remained remarkably consistent.
Africa, a continent renowned for its rich cultural tapestry and diverse traditions, has long held etiquette in high regard. Across the continent, from the bustling cities of Nigeria to the rural villages of Botswana, etiquette is deeply ingrained in the social fabric, shaping interactions and reinforcing community bonds. Respect for elders is paramount in many African cultures. Children are taught from a young age to greet their elders with deference, offer them seats, and speak to them with respect. This reverence for age and experience is seen as a sign of good character and a way of honoring the wisdom and knowledge of previous generations. Hospitality is another cornerstone of African etiquette. Guests are welcomed with open arms and treated with the utmost generosity. Sharing food and drink is an important part of social gatherings, and refusing such offerings can be seen as a sign of disrespect. The art of storytelling is also deeply intertwined with etiquette in many African cultures. Stories are not merely entertainment, they are a powerful means of transmitting knowledge, values, and social norms. Through proverbs, folktales, and historical accounts, elders impart wisdom and reinforce the importance of respect, honesty, and community.
Section 3. Biblical Wisdom, Timeless Principles for Gracious Living. The Bible, a source of spiritual guidance and moral instruction for billions of people worldwide, offers timeless wisdom on the importance of etiquette and its role in fostering a just and compassionate society. Throughout the scriptures, we find numerous verses that emphasize the significance of treating others with kindness, respect, and humility. In the book of Proverbs, we read, "A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger." Proverbs 15, verse 1. This verse highlights the power of our words and the importance of choosing them carefully. Speaking with kindness and consideration can de-escalate conflict and foster understanding, while harsh words can have the opposite effect, igniting anger and resentment. The Apostle Paul, in his letter to the Colossians, writes, "Let your speech always be with grace, seasoned with salt, that you may know how you ought to answer each one." Colossians 4, verse 6. This verse reminds us that our words should be both truthful and gracious, reflecting our faith and our commitment to treating others with respect, even in challenging situations. The Golden Rule, perhaps the most well-known ethical principle in human history, finds its expression in the words of Jesus. "Do to others as you would have them do to you." Luke 6, verse 31. This simple yet profound statement encapsulates the essence of etiquette, urging us to treat others with the same kindness, respect, and compassion that we ourselves desire.
The decline of etiquette in modern society is a complex issue with roots in a confluence of factors. It's not a single villain, but a perfect storm of social, technological, and cultural shifts that have eroded the emphasis on courtesy and respect that once characterized human interaction. Like a shoreline gradually reshaped by relentless waves, Our social landscape has undergone a transformation, leaving behind remnants of a time when good manners were not a choice but a given. One of the most significant contributors to this shift is the rapid pace of modern life. In a world dominated by deadlines, instant gratification, and a constant influx of information, it's easy to see how the finer points of etiquette, the thoughtful pause before speaking, the handwritten thank you note, the genuine interest in another's well-being, can fall by the wayside. The rise of individualism, particularly in Western societies, has also played a role in the decline of etiquette. As the emphasis on personal freedom and self-expression has increased, so too has the tendency to prioritize individual needs and desires over collective courtesy and consideration for others. While individuality is undoubtedly valuable, its unchecked expression can sometimes come at the expense of social grace and respect for established norms of behavior. Furthermore, the decline of traditional institutions, such as religious organizations and community groups, has contributed to the erosion of etiquette. These institutions once played a vital role in transmitting values, fostering a sense of community, and reinforcing social norms, including those related to etiquette. As their influence has waned, so too has the transmission of these important social codes.
Section 2, the digital age, a double-edged sword for etiquette. The digital age, while a marvel of technological advancement, has presented a unique set of challenges to the practice of etiquette. On the one hand, it has provided unprecedented opportunities for connection and communication, breaking down geographical barriers and allowing us to interact with people from all walks of life. On the other hand, this newfound ease of communication has also fostered a sense of anonymity and detachment, making it easier to forget that there's a human being on the receiving end of our online interactions. The internet, with its promise of anonymity, has emboldened some individuals to shed the social graces they might otherwise exhibit in face-to-face interactions. Behind the veil of a screen, it's easier to fire off a scathing remark, engage in cyberbullying, or spread misinformation without considering the consequences for real people and their reputations. Moreover, the constant barrage of information and the pressure to maintain an online persona can lead to a sense of social fatigue and a decline in the quality of our interactions. We may find ourselves scrolling through social media feeds, mindlessly liking and commenting, without truly engaging in meaningful dialogue or demonstrating genuine interest in others. However, it's important to remember that the digital age is still in its infancy. As we continue to adapt to this ever-evolving landscape, there's an opportunity to reshape online norms and cultivate a culture of digital etiquette that emphasizes respect, empathy, and responsible online citizenship.
Section 3. The breakdown of the family unit, a loss of guidance. The family unit, traditionally the cornerstone of social values and the primary incubator of etiquette, has undergone significant transformations in recent decades. These changes, while reflecting evolving social norms and economic realities, have also contributed to the decline of etiquette by diminishing the traditional role of the family in instilling these values in younger generations. The rise of dual-income households, while driven by economic necessity, has often resulted in less time for parents to devote to the direct instruction of their children, including lessons on etiquette. Children may have less exposure to their parents' modeling of good manners and fewer opportunities for guided practice in social settings. Furthermore, the increase in single-parent households and blended families, while representing valid and loving family structures, can sometimes pose challenges to the consistent reinforcement of etiquette. Navigating different parenting styles and expectations can be complex, and children may receive mixed messages about appropriate behavior. It's also worth noting that the definition of family itself has expanded beyond traditional nuclear structures to include same-sex couples, adoptive families, and multi-generational households. This diversity is a positive reflection of evolving social norms, but also highlights the need for greater societal support in assisting all families in their efforts to raise well-mannered and respectful children.
Section 4, the vanishing role model, a scarcity of mentorship. In an era marked by rapid change and the erosion of traditional social structures, the role of role models in transmitting etiquette has become increasingly vital, yet also increasingly elusive. Children and young adults often lack consistent examples of good manners and respectful behavior in their immediate surroundings, leaving them with a sense of uncertainty about what constitutes appropriate conduct. The decline of mentorship, both within and outside the family unit, has contributed to this scarcity of positive role models. In the past, children often benefited from the guidance of extended family members, neighbors, teachers, and community leaders who reinforced the importance of etiquette and provided examples of gracious living. However, as communities have become more transient and social circles have narrowed, opportunities for such mentorship have diminished. The media, while often blamed for promoting negative behaviors, also plays a role in shaping perceptions of what is socially acceptable. When television shows, movies, and social media influencers glorify rudeness, disrespect, and a lack of consideration for others, it can create a distorted view of appropriate behavior, particularly for impressionable young minds. The scarcity of positive role models highlights the urgent need for a collective effort to restore the visibility and influence of individuals who embody the principles of etiquette. Parents, educators, community leaders, and even peers can all play a part in demonstrating and encouraging respectful behavior, helping to fill the void and provide much-needed guidance for younger generations.
There's Section 1, The High Cost of Discourtesy, a Society Unraveled. The decline of etiquette is not merely a matter of lamenting the loss of quaint customs or bemoaning a bygone era of formality. It cuts deeper, striking at the very heart of social cohesion and undermining the fabric of a harmonious society. Like a virus slowly eroding the immune system, the absence of common courtesy creates a breeding ground for negativity, conflict, and distrust, leaving individuals feeling isolated, misunderstood, and increasingly disconnected from one another. One of the most immediate and visible consequences of this decline is the rise in incivility. What was once considered unthinkable, rude gestures, cutting remarks, blatant disregard for others, has become increasingly commonplace, seeping into our daily interactions like a noxious gas. This erosion of civility is evident everywhere, from the aggressive driver tailgating and honking their horn to the customer berating a cashier for a minor inconvenience. This rise in incivility not only creates an unpleasant social environment, but also contributes to a climate of fear and anxiety. When people feel constantly on edge, worried about encountering rudeness or aggression, it erodes their sense of safety and well-being. It can lead to social withdrawal, a reluctance to engage in public spaces, and a diminished sense of community spirit. Moreover, the decline of etiquette erodes trust, a fundamental element of any healthy relationship, whether personal, professional, or societal. When individuals consistently encounter disrespect, dishonesty, or a lack of consideration, it chips away at their faith in humanity, making it harder to form meaningful connections and build strong communities.
Breeding grounds for disrespect. The erosion of family values. The family unit, once a bastion of shared values and a training ground for social graces, has not been immune to the decline of etiquette. As the traditional family structure has evolved and the pace of modern life has intensified, the transmission of etiquette from one generation to the next has often been relegated to the back burner, overshadowed by more pressing concerns such as academic achievement, extracurricular activities, and the relentless pursuit of success. In a world where both parents often work long hours outside the home, the time available for family meals, shared activities, and meaningful conversations has dwindled. These precious moments, once fertile ground for instilling values and modeling good manners, have been replaced by the hurried pace of commutes, the demands of homework, and the ever-present allure of digital devices. As a result, children may grow up with fewer opportunities to observe and internalize the nuances of etiquette, such as the art of conversation, the importance of listening attentively, and the grace of expressing gratitude. Without consistent guidance and reinforcement from parents and other caregivers, these essential social skills may remain underdeveloped, leaving children ill-equipped to navigate the complexities of human interaction with confidence and sensitivity. Moreover, the decline of etiquette within the family unit can contribute to a breakdown in communication and a rise in conflict. When children are not taught to express their needs and feelings respectfully, or to listen to and consider the perspectives of others. Disagreements can easily escalate into arguments, resentment, and a breakdown of family harmony.
The digital age, while ushering in an era of unprecedented connectivity, has also unleashed a torrent of negativity, incivility, and downright cruelty that would have been unthinkable in the realm of face-to-face interaction. The internet, with its promise of anonymity and its global reach, has become a breeding ground for cyberbullying, hate speech, and a general lack of empathy, as individuals hide behind screens, shielded from the immediate consequences of their words and actions. Social media platforms, initially envisioned as tools for connecting with friends and family, have morphed into virtual battlegrounds where individuals engage in heated debates, hurl insults with impunity, and shamelessly promote their own agendas, often at the expense of truth, kindness, and respect for others. The very nature of these platforms, with their emphasis on likes, shares, and viral content, encourages a culture of outrage, where extreme opinions and inflammatory statements are rewarded with attention, while thoughtful dialogue and nuanced perspectives are often drowned out in the cacophony. The anonymity afforded by the internet can embolden individuals to shed their inhibitions and unleash their darkest impulses, engaging in behaviors they would never dream of in person. Cyberbullying, a particularly insidious form of online cruelty, can have devastating consequences for victims, leading to depression, anxiety, social isolation, and even suicidal thoughts. Moreover, the constant barrage of negativity and the pressure to maintain a perfect online persona can take a toll on mental health, contributing to feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, and depression. The digital world, while offering many benefits, can also become a toxic environment where empathy is scarce, kindness is often mistaken for weakness, and the basic rules of human decency are routinely disregarded.
The decline of etiquette, while a concerning trend, is not an insurmountable challenge. Just as a garden overrun with weeds can be restored to its former beauty with care and attention, so too can we cultivate a more courteous and respectful society by taking practical steps to revive the lost art of good manners. This revival begins not with grand gestures or sweeping societal overhauls, but with small, intentional acts of kindness, consideration, and respect, practiced consistently in our daily interactions. One of the most powerful ways to revive etiquette is to lead by example. Children, in particular, are incredibly perceptive and learn by observing the behavior of the adults in their lives. When parents, teachers, and other caregivers consistently model good manners, saying please and thank you, listening attentively, offering help to those in need, they create a positive and influential example for children to emulate. In addition to modeling good manners, it's essential to engage in direct instruction. Parents can have age-appropriate conversations with their children about the importance of etiquette, explaining how good manners make others feel respected and valued. They can role-play different social situations, such as introducing themselves to someone new, offering compliments sincerely, or handling disagreements respectfully. Schools also have a crucial role to play in reviving etiquette. While academic achievement is undoubtedly important, it should not come at the expense of character development and social-emotional learning. Incorporating lessons on etiquette into the curriculum, even in small ways, can have a significant impact. Teachers can dedicate a few minutes each day to discussing topics such as respectful communication, conflict resolution, or the importance of empathy and understanding.
Reviving etiquette is not solely the responsibility of parents, educators, or any other single entity. It requires a collective effort, a conscious decision by individuals, communities, and society as a whole to prioritize kindness, respect, and consideration in all our interactions. Just as it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a concerted effort from all members of society to cultivate a culture of courtesy. One way to foster this culture is to promote civil discourse. In an age of increasing polarization and online echo chambers, it's more important than ever to engage in respectful dialogue, even with those who hold differing viewpoints. This means listening attentively to others, seeking to understand their perspectives, and expressing our own views thoughtfully and without resorting to personal attacks or inflammatory language. Another important step is to celebrate and amplify acts of kindness and courtesy. When we witness someone going out of their way to help another, offering a sincere compliment, or simply demonstrating good manners, let's acknowledge and appreciate their efforts. Sharing these positive stories, whether in person or on social media, can inspire others to follow suit and create a ripple effect of kindness. Finally, let's remember that reviving etiquette is not about returning to a bygone era of rigid formality or adhering to outdated social scripts. It's about adapting the timeless principles of respect, consideration, and empathy to the realities of our modern world. It's about creating a society where everyone feels valued, respected, and connected, regardless of their background, beliefs, or circumstances.
The erosion of etiquette, while a concerning trend, is not an irreversible societal decline. We have the power to reclaim the lost art of good manners, to weave respect, consideration, and kindness back into the fabric of our interactions. It is not a utopian dream, but a conscious choice, a commitment to building a better future, one interaction at a time. This journey begins with each of us. It starts with a conscious effort to be more mindful of our words and actions, to pause before reacting, to choose kindness over criticism, empathy over judgment. It's about remembering that even the smallest gestures of courtesy, a smile, a thank you, a listening ear, can have a ripple effect, brightening someone's day and creating a more positive atmosphere. Let's teach our children not just to be successful, but to be kind, not just to be intelligent, but to be empathetic. Let's make our homes, schools, and workplaces havens of respect, where differences are valued and communication is open and honest. Let's harness the power of the digital age to spread messages of hope and encouragement, to use our online platforms to build bridges, not walls. The revival of etiquette is not a nostalgic yearning for a bygone era, but a vital investment in our shared future. It is a return to grace, a rediscovery of the power of human connection, and a testament to the enduring belief that a more courteous and respectful world is not only possible but essential for the well-being of all.